One of the biggest reasons of why we're unhappy is because of our expectations and our desires. We think that life should be good and pleasant all the time, and if it's not, something is wrong. And we think that I should feel happy all the time, and if it's not, something is wrong. We're putting our expectations on life, but life doesn't care about our expectations. It's going to throw at you whatever it throws at you. Life doesn't care if that's what you wanted or not. And when our expectations don't match up with reality, we don't get what we expected, we're sad, we're suffering. And if you got rid of all your expectations, which I don't even know if that's possible or not, but if you got rid of all your expectations, then you wouldn't be sad. You would just accept everything as it comes. But expectations like life should be that way, life should be this way, life should be joyful most of the times. When we think that, we're fooling ourselves. Because life cannot be joyful all the time. It's impossible. Life involves suffering. Suffering is inevitable. Because you can't have one without the other. It's like up and down or inside outside. Black and white. You don't know black unless you've seen it next to white. And you don't know white unless you've seen it next to black. The same thing is true for joy and suffering. You can't have one without the other, just like the same way you can't have the front of a cat without the back of a cat. If you try to get rid of one and just keep the other one, it's like trying to separate the front of a cat from the back of a cat and then cutting the cat in the middle, and of course it's going to die. You can't have suffering without joy. And you can't have joy without suffering. But the root of our suffering is really expectations and desire. We have certain expectations about our relationships, our work, about life, and when we don't get them, when they don't match up with reality, then we suffer. We feel let down. We have these unrealistic expectations of relationships, for example, that our partner should be like this, he should look like this, it will be. But the root of our suffering is really expectations and desires. We have certain expectations about life, about relationships, about work, and when they don't come true, we suffer, we feel sad, we feel let down. But it is only because of our expectations, and we have made them. It is only in our minds. Only we made up these unrealistic expectations, for example, of our partners, how our partner should be like. Yeah, he should be at least this tall. He should look like this. He shouldn't have this. She should be like this. He should do this. All these expectations. Or about life, that life should be easy or life should be simple. It shouldn't really involve suffering. We also desire a whole bunch of things, and when we don't get that, we suffer. We desire all sorts of material stuff. More money, bigger house, faster cars. We desire pleasure, sex, food, drugs, alcohol, social media, porn, distracting ourselves in this endless pursuit of pleasure. Because pleasure is always fleeting. It doesn't last. And you'll just keep on going for more and more pleasure. And after some time, you'll need some potent stuff, some more potent pleasure, because the other one won't satisfy you that much anymore. Or we desire to be someone else who we are not. We desire to be a great successful businessman, because if we are not, we don't feel worthy enough. We don't feel like fulfilled if we're not that kind of person, or we feel like we need to be this big muscular guy, because if we're not, we feel insecure. We desire to be someone else who we're not. Or We're desiring something not to happen. We're desiring our vacation not to end. We're desiring us to not have to face death. We're desiring the people who we love so that they don't have to die. We don't want to look this reality in its eyes that we're all going to die. So we desire to live for longer, to keep on going, because it's scary. It is scary, death. But we're so attached to it. So attached to life, that's more correct, that we can't let go of it. We can't face death, and we can't really accept that the death of everyone around us. But the problem with all of these desires is that we're ignoring the present moment. We always got our eyes on the future. But the thing is that the future never comes. It never comes. The only moment that we have is this moment right now. And if you think that this moment is not that great and the next moment will be much better, so I just wait for that next moment and I won't really appreciate this moment that much, you'll go on like that forever. Because when that moment comes, you'll think that, this is not that great. I'll wait for that next moment, and for that next moment, the next moment, the next moment. If you can't enjoy where you are right now, if you can't accept it, then some future golden goodie won't bring you more happiness. Because there is only this present moment right now. And this moment is only going to be as good as you make it to be good. It is entirely dependent on you. The external things around you do not determine how happy you are. It's all internal. Everything goes on inside your head. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your perceptions, your expectations, your desires. These determine how happy you are. You can be happy by your own nature. You decide how you react to a situation. External things cannot hurt you. You are only hurting yourself with how you think, with what you believe, how you perceive things. Now I'm going to show you a very great analogy or example about desire. Let's say that something appears in your life that you really like. You see it or you hear something that you really like. And when that happens, don't pull. Don't pull it or cling onto it very tightly. This is why. Because the more you try to get it closer to you, closer than it actually is, the more you try to grab it and hold on to it, not let it go, it will eventually, with time, move away from you. It will get away from you. So when something good appears in your life, don't pull. And the same things when something bad appears in your life that you would normally reject all completely. Don't push. Don't push it so way that you don't even want to look at it. Because eventually, with time, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you, whatever you push away. So the more you try to keep it at yourself and pull it, the more it's going to get away. And the more you push something, the more it's going to get back at you. When something good or bad appears in your life, remain the same. Just let it be there. For example, when you get some kind of present, before you start celebrating, yes, this is so good, control yourself. Control that emotion for a while. Try to remain the same for a while. And when something bad happens, the project has failed, you have failed this class, something didn't work out, before you get angry or before you get sad, try to just remain calm for a while. Just detach yourself. Don't try to push it away instantly that this is an awful thing. Try to center yourself. This is a path to self-mastery. I'm not saying that you just shouldn't feel happiness or you shouldn't feel sadness at all. I'm not even sure if that's possible, but it might be possible that you remain the same even though when life goes up, when life goes down, you remain the same. Your emotions, your state of mind remains the same, because your state of mind, your emotions are not dependent on external things and external validation. It's all internal. You don't try to pull, you don't try to push. Just accept it and let it be. So what is my answer to all of this? Well, first realize that this is all a mental game. It's all internal. Desire less. Have fewer expectations. Accept everything the way that it comes at you. And just be grateful in this present moment. Don't have these great expectations, these unrealistic expectations that everyone should like me, it should be this, that. Just accept everything the way it comes. Don't desire all of the external things, because they will manifest themselves in lust, greed, obsession, and you know that doesn't lead to a happy, fulfilled life. Just accept everything that comes your way. Stop trying to fight it and just accept it. Stop swimming against the river. Instead, just flow with it. Because when we're desiring something, we're always ignoring our present situation. We're always got our eyes on the future. And we don't realize that there is only this moment. The future never comes. It doesn't exist. There's only this moment. And really what matters is, how are you taking care of this moment? How are you managing this moment right now? Are you giving all of your gifts, all of your love in this moment? Are you really just appreciating, being grateful, experiencing this moment completely? Because this moment is only going to be as good as you make it to be. It's only dependent on you. How you react to it, how you perceive it. What kind of expectations do you have? Can you be totally present or not? Or are you going to get lost in the world of your thoughts, thinking about the past or the future? So just be grateful for everything, for every moment when you're alive. Be a beacon of love, loving every creature around you and spreading love in this world with an open heart. Because let's be honest right now, if you have a roof over your head, if you have food to eat, water to drink, people to share your joy with, then you shouldn't be complaining. You really shouldn't be complaining. Because those things are a luxury to have. Nice people around you, something to eat. You don't have to think about how are you going to not starve tomorrow. You don't have to think about where you're going to sleep this night. Really just think about that. You should be much more grateful for all the things that you have. I mean, if you have time and some device to watch this video on, you shouldn't be complaining, really. So really just be grateful for everything that you have. Enjoy this present moment. Embrace the simple things. Stop putting your expectations on life, desiring so much, and just be here right now. Be grateful that you're alive. I mean, how crazy it is that we're alive and you're watching this video and I'm speaking to a camera, talking to you. How crazy is that? Like, I never get bored because there's always so much things to look at. I'm just looking at a tree like, how does it work? How is it there? In all its might, all its leaves going around. Like, you can be grateful and happy just by a tree with these simple things. So I hope that this video helped. If you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. If you have any questions, if you want any advice, my email is in the description. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts also about this. So I hope that this video was helpful. Have a great day and goodbye.